Good morning, students. Today, I have a story to recommend to you. The story is called Trapped in Antarctica. Now, this story is non-fiction. What does non-fiction mean? Well, non-fiction means it's true. So this is a true story based on real life. It's a very interesting survival story. And I recommend this book is for more advanced readers. So particularly the P4 to P6 students, you might enjoy this book. Or if you are an advanced reader, you can also read this book. So let's take a look. Okay, before we start, I want to mention something. Okay, the words are a little bit small, especially if you're reading on your phone or your iPad. So I suggest you do something before you start. Okay, you click on this, you close it, go back here, and you can see here at the bottom, we have the cog, the settings. I suggest you click on the zoom function like this. And now we can make the words a bit bigger. Okay, it's more easy to read, especially on your iPads or iPhones. Okay, so a little bit about the story. Trapped in Antarctica, Shackleton and the Endurance. Shackleton is the name of this man. He is an explorer, and the Endurance is the name of his ship. When the ice froze around his ship, explorer Ernest Shackleton knew his journey to Antarctica had become a fight for survival. So this is a survival story based on real life, and I think it's quite interesting. Let's take a look inside. All right, so this story is in a cartoon form. So I think there are some very nice pictures for you to look at. And also you can see some words highlighted. For example, this word here, expedition. So I suggest when you read the story, if you don't know the meaning of the words, you can click on the word like this.
Expedition,
And then you can listen to the pronunciation,
expedition,
expedition. And then what does this mean? Okay, an expedition is a journey or trip undertaken for a specific purpose. A group making such a journey or prompt handling of what needs to be done. Okay, so in this situation, this is a journey, yes, and it's a group making a journey,
expedition,
an expedition. Okay, another example, we have the word venture.
Venture, venture,
Okay, what does venture mean? It means to expose to risk, to face the risks and dangers, to offer at the risk of being criticized. Okay, so let's take a look. And what I like about this particular story is it has some facts, some real facts and figures. For example, the Endurance leaves England on August 8, 1914. Okay, this is a real fact and figure. But then you can see here you have the characters, and then you have some information here about what they're thinking and what they're saying. Okay, so you can imagine how they were feeling by what they were saying and what they were thinking. Okay, and then also, although this is not a read aloud story, you have to read it by yourself. You can imagine the sound like a boom. You can imagine it's the Endurance is sailing across the ice floe and it's banging into these big chunks of ice. Okay, and then like I said before, we have some thoughts and some feelings from the crew members. It appears as though we have stuck fast for this season. Okay, so what happens in this story is the ship, the Endurance, it became stuck in the ice in Antarctica. Now, do you think they can survive being stuck in the middle of the ice in Antarctica? Well, you really have to read the rest of the book to find out, but it's a very interesting story. Let's take a quick look. Okay, so What happens when they're trapped in the ice? How do they survive? Okay, you can see here the feelings and thoughts from some of the men. Okay, taking a look. Okay, and then also some very interesting facts about, okay, how do the people survive? They're stuck on the ice. Okay, for example, here the crew hunts for seals and prepares their first hot meal in days. So can you imagine being stuck in the ice, in the freezing cold, and think, how would you survive? Okay, so let's click on this. Okay, so I suggest that you can read the story Trapped in Antarctica. It's a very good story. But also, I would like to recommend two other stories. One is called Race to the Poles, and one is called Snowbound. And also, these two books are related to this man, Shackleton, okay, Ernest Shackleton, the explorer. So after you finish this story, you may want to read Race to the Poles or Snowbound, as they are related to the story. Okay. And then before we finish, one more thing I would like to show you. Let's go and click on the profile. Okay, so this student has read 12 books. Well done. And then I just want to remind you, if you read more stories, you can collect more badges. And also you can update your avatar. For example, you might want to choose a different kind of avatar. And if you read more stories, for example, finish 20 books, you can unlock and change your avatar. So I suggest you do this. It's a fun thing to do. Okay. But this student, well done. You've read so many books, and I can see you've found some interesting storybooks to read, and maybe some read to me to listen to. And don't forget, they're also audiobooks. If you like to just listen to stories, you can click on this, and you don't need to look at the screen. You can lie on your bed. You can listen to the audiobook. It's completely up to you. Also, there are some comics. I know some, especially some P5 and P6 students, you like comics. I suggest that you can read some comics. Okay, that's the end. Thank you.